Welcome to Liberté, Egalité, Fraternité, and all that, a podcast about current affairs, foreign policy, politics, and governments behaving badly. Episode 5. Bravo, Mitt Romney. So yes, I know I promised I would go after the Chinese government at the end of last episode, but after today's events, I felt I needed to make an impromptu off-the-cuff episode about Mitt Romney, who has been a favorite whipping boy of my old, now dormant blog, and, well, he deserves it. I was never particularly a huge fan of Mitt Romney. I didn't care for the nature of business that he ushered into America through his venture capital firm. I didn't care for his inconstancy on principle and policies, and then attacking people who held the policies he held a week before. But credit must be given today where credit is due. To the shock of everybody, Mitt Romney came out and voted to impeach Donald Trump. And in doing so, he pretty much eviscerated the Republican Party's arguments on why Trump should not be impeached. He noted that Trump's great concern about corruption would never have occurred if the person involved didn't have the last name Biden. He noted just how harmful what Trump did was for this country. And now it must be noted that Mitt Romney is insulated in some ways. He's Mormon. Most Mormons are not overly enamored with Trump, and he's a senator from Utah. But it still took a lot of courage for him to do what he did. Because in the current Republican Party, the head of the Republican Party is actually Mitt Romney's niece. And to show you what a cult of Trump this party is, she used to use her maiden name Romney as part of her name, and then to please Trump, she dropped it. So Mitt Romney is going to take a lot of abuse over the coming days. And as I said, it may not be fatal for his political career, and we don't know how long that career will be because he is 72 years old after all. He's never really going to run for president again. But it took courage for him to do what he did. And by doing what he did, he made Senators Murkowski, Alexander, and Collins look like cowards. Lamar Alexander pretty much admitted that Trump was guilty, but somehow magically this did not rise up to impeachable levels. Murkowski kept arguing that the process was politicized, ignoring the fact that as a senator she had the power to make this process less politicized if she felt it was politicized. And then Susan Collins, well, what can you say about Susan Collins? She claims to be a moderate. She's not really a moderate, and her whole shtick has been wearing thin. When it came to voting for witnesses, she used what will call the Collins move. She voted for witnesses only after it was pretty clear that the vote was going to fail. Now, this is a technique she has perfected in the past. She voted against confirming Donald Trump's horrible education secretary, Betsy DeVos, only after it was clear that she was going to be confirmed. And here, once every senator other than Mitt Romney had come out to vote against witnesses, here comes Susan Collins to vote for witnesses. And then when it came to impeachment, she gave the totally ridiculous answer with a straight face that I think he has learned his lesson and he will not do this in the future. Now, why she thought Trump had learned any sort of lesson is beyond me, since Trump has been claiming since day one that this was a perfect phone call, and he promptly repeated this, leading to a retraction today, which makes her look even more stupid. But Susan Collins has never really been a profile in courage. It'll be a great day when she's no longer the senator from Maine. And Mitt Romney, by standing up to Trump, made her look really, really stupid today. Also, by coming out and voting to impeach Trump, Mitt Romney also denied Trump his argument that this was a partisan impeachment. Because, hey, now you actually have a Republican senator who voted for impeachment. And predictably, Donald Trump's not particularly bright oldest son, Jr., demanded promptly demanded on Twitter that Mitt Romney should be drummed out of the Republican Party, which also confirmed something the impeachment managers from the Democratic Party, particularly Adam Schiff, had said, to much clutching of pearls from the Republicans, that Republicans were not going to vote no because they feared retaliation or attempts of retaliation from Donald Trump and his cult members. And there right away was the instant reaction of Junior. As I record this episode, I do not know what sort of conniption fit Donald Trump has had. I assume the tweet storm tomorrow morning will be spectacular to behold. But for today at least, bravo Mitt Romney. Now, it did not change the vote on impeachment. The Republican Party is too far gone for this, and Donald Trump, as expected, was not convicted. And Mitt Romney, possibly by standing up to Trump, may have unified the Democratic Party. There were 3 Democratic senators who were considered wishy-washy on impeachment. One of them was the soon-to-be ex-senator from Alabama, Doug Jones, and the others were Senators Manchin from West Virginia and Sinema from Arizona. Jones actually, before Mitt Romney, came out and said that he would vote for impeachment. But soon after, Mitt Romney, both Manchin and Sinema affirmed that they would also vote to convict. Whether Mitt Romney gave them cover, we will not know. But if he did, thank you again, Mitt Romney. The Republican Party is very, very broken. It has essentially become a Trump cult, where the Republican Party feels compelled to hold events at Trump facilities and funnel money into Trump's bank accounts, where, according to a current opinion poll, now these polls have to be taken with a grain of salt because we are still 4 years away and a lot of this is name recognition, but 2 out of the top 4 Republican candidates are Trump's not particularly bright children, Junior and Ivanka. And that sort of sums up the current situation of the Republican Party. So impeachment is done for now. The investigations into possibly the most corrupt president in American history will continue. We still don't have his tax returns. That battle is going to continue. We still don't have the numbers of how much the government is spending on Trump's travel expenses, including his weekend golf trips, which keep funneling money into Trump's coffers. Those investigations will continue. This is easily the most corrupt administration in American history. Well, at least it is a contender for top 3 with Ulysses Grant's and Warren Harding's administrations. So we will see what happens, and we move on to the presidential campaign as the Iowa caucus fiasco still drags on, and we move on to New Hampshire, and hopefully in November we will have a new president. But for now, the purpose of this episode was, again, to thank a former whipping boy of my previous blog, Mitt Romney. I never thought I would see it, but hey, today he showed a spine and he showed some guts in standing up to Donald Trump and willingly taking on the abuse that is going to be heaped on him in the coming days. So, bravo, Mitt Romney. The first senator in an impeachment trial to vote to convict a president of his own party. And with that, I expect next time to move on to the previously promised topic on China, and hopefully nothing else and nothing pressing comes up in the way that forces a detour, and hopefully that episode will not be long in coming. See you soon.